Welcome to Tungal College online classes. Hello students, how are you all? The today's topic is packing efficiency. The packing efficiency is defined as the percentage of the total space filled by the particles is called as packing efficiency. First, let's read the statement. The percentage of total space. The percentage of total space filled by the particles is called packing efficiency. Packing efficiency. Now let us understand what is the meaning of this statement by taking a general example. For example, take a bin. The bin is filled with the balls. If you look at the bin carefully, the balls do not occupy the total space inside present in the bin. Some empty spaces is developed between the balls. So in the total space of the bin, some space is occupied by the balls and some empty space is there. So how much amount of empty space is there? How much amount of space is occupied by the balls inside the bin? We will calculate in terms of packing efficiency. The packing efficiency is nothing but the percentage of the total space filled by the particles is called as a packing efficiency. The packing efficiency can be calculated by the formula packing efficiency P is equal to number of spheres. Number of spheres into volume of each sphere. Volume of each sphere. Number of spheres into volume of each sphere divided by total volume of the unit cell. Total volume of the unit cell into 100. So this is the formula we have to use to calculate packing efficiency of a unit cells. Packing efficiency P is equal to the number of spheres into volume of each sphere divided by total volume of unit cell into 100. So in our syllabus we have the calculation of packing efficiency of a simple cubic unit cell. Simple cubic unit cell. The second one is a body centered unit cell. The second one is a body centered unit cell. The third one we have is a face centered unit cell. Face centered unit cell. So we have to calculate the packing efficiency of a simple cubic unit cell, body centered unit cell and a face centered unit cell. So before going to calculate the packing efficiency of a simple cubic body centered, we have to call as the BCC, body centered cubic unit cell, and the face center we have to call as FCC. So face centered cubic unit cell. First we need to understand what is a unit cell. We need to understand what is unit cell. Next topic, unit cell. The unit cell is defined as the smallest portion of a crystal lattice which repeated in different directions generate the entire lattice is called as a unit cell. First, let us read the definition of a unit cell. The smallest portion of crystal lattice. The smallest portion of crystal lattice which when repeated different directions generate the entire lattice. Is called a unit cell. is called unit cell. So before going to learn the what is the meaning, exact meaning of unit cell, first let us understand the what is the crystal lattice. First we need to understand the term what is a crystal lattice. So I drawn the structure of a crystal lattice. The crystal lattice is defined as a regular three-dimensional arrangement of a points in a space is called as a crystal lattice. A regular three-dimensional arrangement of a points in a space is called as crystal lattice. So let us understand what is the meaning of this crystal lattice by taking an example. Suppose I am taking the sodium chloride crystal. The sodium chloride crystal we have Na plus ions as well as Cl minus ions, NaCl, Na plus Cl minus ions. So I am taking here is a Cl minus ion, negative charge ion. So here we have to write negative charge is surrounded by positive charge, Na plus ion. So Na plus, next we have to write Cl minus. Like that we have to repeat Na plus Cl minus entire this crystal lattice. So here is Na plus Cl minus. So opposite Cl minus we have to write Na plus. So what is my point is the negative ions are surrounded by the positive ions and positive ions are surrounded by the negative ions. Let us see how it is. Na plus, here is Cl minus. Here is Na plus. Look at here. Cl minus, the Cl minus is surrounded by Na plus, here is Na plus, here is Na plus. So negative ions are surrounded by the negative ions surrounded by the positive ions. So let us continue it. So here is Na plus, here is Cl minus, here is Cl minus, here is middle Na plus. So here is Cl minus, Na plus, Cl minus. So we have to write here is Na plus, here is Cl minus, Na plus, Cl minus. Here also Na plus is Cl minus, Na plus, Cl minus. Now look at this crystal lattice. So here at the center here is a positive ion is there. The positive ion is surrounded by negative ion, negative ion, here is a negative ion, here is negative, here is negative. The positive ions are surrounded by the negative ions, positive ions are surrounded by the negative ions, negative ions are surrounded by the positive ions. So like this a regular three-dimensional arrangement. This is a regular. We can extend the crystal lattice this direction. We can extend the downward. You can extend this direction. You can extend the top, front as well as the bottom. All the directions we can extend the crystal lattice. So in this crystal lattice, a regular three-dimensional arrangement of points in a space is referred as a crystal lattice. This is the structure of crystal lattice. In this crystal lattice, if you look at carefully, so one box is repeating. Here is total number of boxes 1, 2, 3, 4. So front side we have 4 boxes and back side we have 4 boxes. Total number of boxes we have is 8. So which is repeating? One small box is repeating. That smallest portion we have to refer as a unit cell. So the crystal lattice is made up of a unit cell. In a crystal lattice, the smallest repeating structural unit, we have to refer as a unit cell. Let us take another example. Suppose take this wall. Take this wall, the wall is made up of brick. The entire wall brick is repeating. So the brick is a unit cell. Suppose if you take a college building. In a college building, each and every room we have considered as a unit cell. So the smallest portion which is repeating, that repeating smallest portion we have to refer as a unit cell. In the wall, how the brick is unit cell, brick is repeating each and every time. In the whole building as a whole, each room is repeating. So which is repeating? The smallest portion we have to refer as a unit cell. Look at this. The smallest portion of a crystal lattice, enter this. The smallest portion of a crystal lattice which when repeated different directions, generate the entire lattice is called as a unit cell. This is the exact and standard definition of a unit cell. Next, unit cell is characterized by the first one is characteristics of unit cell. The characteristics of unit cell is characterized by the 3 dimensions along its edges. So what is my point is, first I will write the smallest portion among this crystal lattice. I am taking the smallest portion. What is the smallest portion is this one. So this is the smallest portion. So from this crystal lattice, I took one small box. Here is 8 I wrote. Among the 8 I took 1. This one we are referring as a unit cell. So one is referring as a unit cell. I took one unit cell. So this unit cell is characterized by the 3 edges. So this is edge length I am labeling as A, and this edge the edge I am labeling as A, this edge I am labeling as B, this edge I am labeling as C. So this is the B, and this is the A, and this is the C. So unit cell is characterized by the 3 edges A, B, C. Characteristics of unit cell. In that first one is unit cell is characterized by the 3 edges A, B, C. That is the point number 1. And the second one is the angle between the edges. So angle between the B and C I am labeling as alpha. The alpha is the angle between edge length B and C. And the angle between C and A is I am labeling as beta. So beta is the angle between the 2 edges A and C. And alpha, beta, gamma. So this is the gamma. Gamma is the angle between the edges A and B. So unit cell is characterized by total 6 parameters. One is 6 parameters. They are A, B, C are edge lengths, and alpha, beta, gamma are angle between the edges. So these are the characteristics of a unit cell. Next one is classification of unit cell. Unit cell broadly divided into 2 types. One is called as primitive unit cell. The second one is called as a centered unit cell. Unit cell. So unit cell broadly divided into 2 types. Unit cell broadly divided into 2 types. One is primitive unit cell. One is a primitive unit cell. The second one is a centered unit cell. The second one is a centered unit cell. And the centered unit cell further classified into 3 types. They are one is a body centered unit cell. One is a body centered unit cell, and the second one is a face centered unit cell. Face centered unit cell, and the third one is a end centered unit cell. So the unit cell broadly divided into 2 types, primitive unit cell and the second one is centered unit cell. The centered unit cell further divided into body centered, face centered and end centered. Now let us discuss one by one. Primitive unit cell in the sense when unit cell consists constant particles only at corner positions. When unit cell consists constant particles at only corner positions, we have to refer it as a primitive unit cell. What is my meaning? I am taking a unit cell. So unit cell is smallest portion of crystal lattice. Already we know very well it. So this is the unit cell. This is the unit cell. In this unit cell, constant particle present only at corners like this. The constant particle present only at the corner positions. When constant particle present only corner positions of the unit cell, so we have to refer it as a primitive unit cell. So there are different types of primitive unit cell. They are, the first one is cubic. The first one is cubic unit cell. The second one is tetragonal. The second one is tetragonal, and the third one is orthorhombic. Third one is orthorhombic, and the fourth one is rhombohedral. The fourth one is rhombohedral. The fifth one is hexagonal. The fifth one is hexagonal. The sixth one is triclinic. And the seventh one is monoclinic. Monoclinic and triclinic. So these are the primitive unit cell. There are 7 primitive unit cell: cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, rhombohedral, hexagonal, triclinic and monoclinic. So this is the primitive unit cell and its types. So primitive unit cell is nothing but the constant particles present at only corner positions. So we have to refer it as a primitive unit cell. I think what I mean you got it. Then coming to the point centered unit cell. The centered unit cell, in the centered unit cell, when the constant particle, one or more constant particles present at positions other than the corners, in addition to those at corners, generally we have to refer it as a centered unit cell. You will understand the meaning of this statement by taking, if you understand, by taking body centered, face centered and end centered. So, but first let us look at body centered. This we have to refer it as a BCC. So, I am taking the unit cell. So, this is the unit cell. Right. So, the constant particles present at corners, we know very well this point. The constant particles present at the corner positions. In addition to these corner positions, the constant particle present at body center. So, when unit cell consists its constant particles positions other than the corners. This is the position other than the corner. So, when unit cell consists constant particles, when the unit cell contains constant particles present at positions other than the corners, in addition to those at corner positions. In addition to those corner positions, constant particle present at any other places, either body center, face centers or edge centers, such unit cells we have referred as a centered unit cell. Now this is the body center. The constant particle present at the constant particle present at the corner positions. In addition to those at corner positions, constant particle present at a body center, or the constant particle present at the body center. In addition to those at body center, the constant particle present at the corner positions. So we have referred as a body centered unit cell, body centered cubic unit cell, simply body centered unit cell. This is the example. Next, face centered. Generally, in short, we have to call it as BCC. The second one is a face centered unit cell. So I am drawing the face centered unit cell. So imagine this is the unit cell, right? This unit cell has 6 faces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, one is the front, one is the back. So total number of faces is 6. The constant particle present at the corner, this point is common. The unit cell consists of constant particles at the corner positions. The unit cell consists of constant particles at corner positions. In addition to those at corner positions, the constant particles, the particles present at face center, each and every face center, at this face, this is the constant particle. So center of this face there is a constant particle. So center of this face there is a one constant particle. This is another face, third face. This is another face. So first face, second, third, fourth, 2 more faces. So for this case, this is the front center of the face, and for the back side, this is the center. So the face centered unit cell is nothing but the unit cell consists of constant particles at centers of each face, in addition to those at corner positions. Such unit cell is referred as a face centered unit cell. In short, we have referred as a FCC, face centered cubic unit cell. Now coming to the point end centered unit cell. So I am drawing the structure of unit cell. I am drawing here. So this is the unit cell, right? In this unit cell, the constant particle present at corner positions, we are very well known about it. The constant particles are present at corner positions. In addition to the corner positions, the constant particle present at any 2 opposite faces, centers of any 2 opposite faces. So these 2 faces I am taking, or you can take these 2 faces, you can take either front face or back face, and if any 2 faces you can take. I am taking this face, center of this face, and I am taking this face. So constant particle present at centers of 2 opposite faces. In addition to those at corner positions, such type of unit cell is referred as a centered unit cell. So this is the classification of unit cell, primitive and centered unit cell. Primitive unit cell meaning is the unit cell consists of constant particle only at corners. The particles present at only at corner positions we have to refer as a primitive unit cell. Apart from it, if you take the second case, centered unit cell, When the unit cell consists of one or more constant particles positions other than the corners. So this is the positions other than the corners. When unit cell consists of one or more constant particles positions other than the corners in addition to those at corner positions. Generally we have referred as a centered unit cell. Bodies, there are three types: body centered, face centered, and centered. Body centered meaning is constant particle present at body center of the unit cell in addition to those at corner positions. In the case of face centers, the constant particle present at centers of each face in addition to those at corner positions, that is FCC. And end centered, the constant particle present at any two centers of any two opposite faces in addition to that corner positions. Generally we have referred as end centered. So this is the classification of unit cell. So what is the unit cell and what is the crystal lattice? I discussed. Crystal lattice is nothing but a regular three-dimensional arrangement of points in a space is called as a crystal lattice. So in this crystal lattice, the smallest portion of a crystal lattice which when repeated in different directions generate entire lattice is called as a unit cell. So in this crystal lattice, the smallest portion we are taking, this smallest portion we are calling as a unit cell. So unit cell is characterized by six parameters. One is edge lengths A, B, C, and angles between them is alpha, beta, gamma. So this is unit cell. Next topic, number of atoms in a unit cell. So before going to calculate the number of atoms in a unit cell, first we need to calculate the contribution of lattice points for a unit cell. Contribution of lattice point. Contribution of lattice points per unit cell. Contribution of lattice points for unit cell. In that first one is the constant particle present at body center. The constant particle present at the body center. The constant particle present at the body center, what is my meaning? I am taking a unit cell. This is the unit cell. In this unit cell, the constant particle present at the body center. So this particle present in the body center, this particle belongs to this unit cell only. So the contribution of the particle per unit cell is 100%. The contribution of particle per unit cell is 100%. That means this whole particle belongs to this unit cell only. Next, second, the constant particle present at face center. At face center. The constant particle present at the face center. So I am taking this is the unit cell. So this is the unit cell. The constant particle present at the face center. So what is the contribution of this lattice point for unit cell? We have to find out. So contribution of, for this case I am drawing one more structure. Look at this. Right, so this is one unit cell and this is another unit cell. For these two unit cells, this is the common face. This face is common. So here is the constant particle is present. Imagine. So I took the two unit cells. This is one unit cell and this is another unit cell. For these two unit cells, this is the common face. So this particle belongs to this unit cell and this particle belongs to this unit cell. The contribution of the lattice point for unit cell is half only. This particle 50% belongs to this unit cell and 50% belongs to this unit cell. That means the contribution of lattice point for unit cell is half. So half particle belongs to this unit cell and nothing but half particle belongs to this unit cell. If the particle present at the face center, the contribution of lattice point per unit cell is half. The particle present at the body center, the contribution of particle per unit cell is 1. That means 100%. Here is 50%. Next, third case. In third case, the constant particle present at edge center. I am taking an example. Look at this. So this is the unit cell. This is the unit cell. In this unit cell, the constant particle present at edge center. This is the edge. The particle is present at this edge center. The contribution of particle per unit cell. So we have to find out. Let us draw one more structure for this case. Look at this. So this is a 1 unit cell, right? This is the constant particle pressure. This is the edge center. So there are the 4 unit cell. This is the 1 unit cell. This is the second one, third one, fourth one. There are 4 unit cell is there. In this 4 unit cell, this constant particle, that this is not one lattice point. Constant particle is present at this edge center. So this is a particle belongs to this unit cell. This particle belongs to this unit cell. This particle belongs to this one, and this particle belongs to this unit. So this particle lattice point, this lattice point belongs to all unit cell. So what is the contribution of a lattice point for unit cell? So we have this part we have shared to the 4 unit cell. That means so 25% belongs to this unit cell, and 25% belong to this one, and 25% here also will be taken as 25%. So for your contribution of lattice point for unit cell is 1/4. So 1/4 belongs to this unit cell, and 1/4 belongs to this one, and 1/4 belongs to this one, 1/4 belongs to this one. So the constant particle present at edge centers, the contribution of lattice points per unit cell is 1/4. So body center is 1, at face centers is 1/2, at edge centers is 1/4. As edge center is 1/4. Next, at corner, the last case is a 4th one. At corner, the constant particle is present at corner positions. In this case, we have to draw one more structure. What is meaning is, I am taking this is the unit cell. This is the unit cell. In this unit cell, the constant particle present at this corner position. So constant particle present at corner position. So what is the contribution of a lattice point for unit cell? We have to find out. So for this case, I am drawing one more structure. So look at this. Look at this. So this is the constant particle. The constant particle present at this corner. So we have total 8 unit cell. 1, 2, 3, 4. Front side we have 4 unit cell, and the back side we have is 4 unit cell. Total 2 unit cell we have is a 4 unit cell. This 4 unit cell will share only one corner. So this corner belongs to this unit cell, front unit cell, and back side. This one, this one. So all these unit cell will share one corner common. So this corner is common to the all unit cell, and since what is the contribution of this lattice point for unit cell? So we'll get 1/8 part. So 1/8 part belongs to this unit cell, 1/8 part belongs to this one, like that 1/8 part belongs to each unit cell. That means around 12.5. So 12.5 part, 12.5% belongs to the particular unit cell. That means 1/8 part belongs to one unit cell. Now the point is contribution of lattice points for unit cell. So while calculating the number of atoms in unit cell, we have to use this topic. So calculation of contribution of lattice point for unit cell. If the particle present at the body center, that particle whole belongs to that unit cell. So contribution is equal to 1. The particle present at the face center, the number of particles per contribution of lattice points for unit cell is half. Half belongs to one unit cell, half belongs to another cell. At face center, at contribution of lattice points for unit cell at edge center is 1/4. At corner is 1/8. So this point you should remember. Now coming to the number of atoms in a unit cell. Number of atoms in a unit cell. The first I am taking a cubic unit cell. Cubic unit cell. A simple cubic unit cell. Simple cubic unit cell in the sense the constant particle present only at corner positions. Look at this. So this is the simple cubic unit cell. So the constant particles Constant particles are nothing but constant particle meaning is that may be an atom or molecule or that may be an ion. So this may be atom or this may be a molecule or this may be an ion. So the constant particle present at only corner positions. So what is the how many number of atoms in a unit cell we have to calculate? So total number of atoms. Total number of atoms per unit cell. So total number of atoms per unit cell, that is equal to total number of corners 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 corners. 8 corners into what is the contribution for corner is 1/8 part. So contribution for corner, contribution of lattice point per unit cell if the particle present in the corner is 1/8. So that is equal to 8 into 1/8 is nothing but 1. So number of lattice points present in the cubic unit cell is 1. This is the calculation. The second one is total number of atoms in a BCC, body centered cubic unit cell. I am taking body centered cubic unit cell. So I am taking the unit cell. So this is one unit cell. Right, in this unit cell the constant particle present at the body center here, in addition to those at corner positions. The constant particle present at the body center in addition to those at corner positions. So we have to calculate number of lattice points per unit cell. So total number of atoms or particles, constant particle for unit cell. So total number of atoms, the total number of atoms per unit cell is equal to, so we have 8 corners 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 corners into contribution at one corner is 1/8 plus, and the particle present at the body center, the constant particle present at the body center, its contribution is 1. So that particle belongs to that unit cell only. So 1 at body center, 1 at body center, 1 at body center. The total contribution is how much? 8 into 1/8. So 1 plus 1. So that is equal to 2. The total number of atoms present in the body centered unit cell is 2 atoms. Next, third one. The third one is FCC, face centered cubic unit cell, FCC. So FCC in the sense, first we have to draw the structure of FCC. Right, so in FCC the constant particles, that may be atoms or molecules or ions, present at corner positions, in addition to those at corner positions, the constant particle present at face centers at this position. So this is another face, this is another face, this is another face, 4 faces. Total number of faces is 6. So this is the center of the front face and this is the center of the back face. The total number of faces is 6 faces. Now we have to find out the total number of atoms present in this FCC unit cell. So 8 corners. So 8 into 1/8. So 8 corners, contribution is 1/8. 8 into 1/8. I think got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 corners. Contribution at the corner is 1/8. So 8 into 1/8 plus face center. So 6 faces we have. 6 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4. One is the back, one is the front. So total number of faces is 6. 6 into what is the contribution at face center? At face center contribution how many? So 50% belongs to this unit cell, 50% belongs to this unit cell. That means at face center contribution for lattice point, contribution of lattice point for unit cell is what? Half. So 6 into 1/2. That is equal, this is a 1, this is a 3. That is equal to 4. So the total number of atoms in FCC unit cell is 4. This is the third one. Next, fourth one. Fourth one is end centered. The fourth one is end centered unit cell. So we have to calculate lattice point number of total number of atoms in end centered unit cell. First, let us draw the structure of end centered unit cell. Look at this. So this is the unit cell. We know very well that constant particles present at the corner positions. In addition to those at corner positions, the constant particles present at the centers of any two opposite faces. These two you can take, or front, back, and you can take, so left, right faces, any two faces you can take. I am taking this face and I am taking this face, two faces I took. So we have to calculate the total number of atoms in a unit cell. So the total number of atoms in a unit cell is equal to corners. So there are 8 corners. This is common point. 8 into 1 by 8. 8 corners into contribution is 1 by 8th part plus face centers. Here is 6 faces is there, but we have to take only 2 faces. The reason is the constant particle present only at any two opposite faces. The constant particle present at any two opposite faces. So 2 faces into contribution of lattice point for unit cell at face center is 1 by 2. So 8 into 1 by 8 plus 2 into 1 by 2, that is equal to 1 plus 1. So total number of atoms in a unit cell is equal to 2. The total number of atoms in a end-centered unit cell is 2. So this is a number of atoms in a unit cell. The atom cubic unit cell consists of only 1 atom, and BCC body centered cubic unit cell consists of 2 atoms, and face centered cubic unit cell consists of 4 atoms, and end centered cubic unit cell consists of 2 atoms. So this is the contribution. At body center, whole that particle belongs to that unit cell only, contribution is 100%. At face center half, at edge center is 1 by 4th, at corner is 1 by 8th. So this is the number of atoms in a unit cell. Next topic, packing efficiency in simple cubic unit cell. Now we have to calculate the packing efficiency of a simple cubic unit cell. First, let us write the structure of simple cubic unit cell. So this is the structure of a simple cubic unit cell. Now every time we are telling the constant particle present at corner position, so simply showing the particle in the form of a dot. Actually the constant particles present at the corner positions will touch each other. I will show it how it is. So this is the one constant particle present at this corner, and another constant particle present at this corner like this. So constant particle present at corner positions will touch each other like this. Now the point is, so this is the edge length, I am labeling as A. Edge length I am labeling as A. And the radius of sphere, this is the radius of this sphere, and this is the radius of this sphere. Radius of each sphere I am labeling as R. So here we have to write 4 points. Point number 1, total number of particles per unit cell, or number of spheres per unit cell. Number of spheres per unit cell. The number of spheres per total number of spheres per unit cell is equal to, we know very well that simple cubic unit cell, that means constant particle present at corner positions, that means we have 8 corners. 8 corners into contribution of the corner is 1 by 8th, that is equal to 1. So number of constant particles, number of particles per unit cell is 1. Number of spheres per unit cell is 1 sphere. That is the first point. The second point is volume of each sphere. So volume of each sphere. Volume of each sphere is equal to 4/3 pi r cube. Volume of each sphere is equal to 4/3 pi r cube. Point number 3. The point number 3 is volume of unit cell. Volume of unit cell. The volume of unit cell is equal to A cube. And the fourth one is relationship between A and R. Here A is the edge length, R is the radius of sphere. So A is equal to R plus R. So this is the total edge length. This total edge length A is equal to radius of first sphere plus radius of second sphere. Radius of two spheres is equal to edge length A. So we can write A is equal to 2R. Here A is the edge length of unit cell, R is the radius of sphere. Now these are the for every unit cell. In the case of simple cubic unit cell, we have tried these 4 points. If you take BCC, the same points we have tried, and in the case of FCC also we have tried the same points. Next one is we have to calculate the packing efficiency. We know very well that packing efficiency formula. Packing efficiency P is equal to formula number of spheres. Number of spheres into volume of each sphere. Number of spheres into volume of each sphere divided by total volume of unit cell. Total volume of unit cell into 100. The total volume of unit cell into 100. That is equal number of spheres. Already we calculated. How many number of spheres we got? 1. So 1 into volume of each sphere. Volume of each sphere is what is the formula we have? 4/3 pi r cube. 4/3 pi r cube by total volume of the unit cell. The total volume of unit cell is equal to a cube. A cube into 100. So this is the formula substitution. That is equal, we have 4/3 pi r cube by a is equal to what we have? 2r. So 2r whole cube into 100. Isn't it? Then upon simplification we get 4/3 pi r cube by, so 8r cube. This will become 8r cube into 100. So r cube will cancel. So here is a 4 and 8 will cancel. So 3 into 2, 6 time you will get. So 5 by 6. 5 by 6 into 100. 5 by 6 into 100. So pi is equal 3.14. Substitute the value. Upon simplification we will get the value is 52.36 percentage. We'll get 52.36 percentage. Approximately we can take 52.4 percentage. Approximately get 52.4 percentage. Now we have to find out that this is the packing efficiency. Packing efficiency is equal to 52.436 or 52.4 percentage, and percentage of empty space. Percentage of empty space. The percentage of empty space is equal to 100 minus packing efficiency. Packing efficiency how much you get? 52 point, that means approximately you can take 52.4 percentage. That is equal to 47.6 percentage. The percentage of empty space in simple cubic unit cell is 47.6. The packing efficiency is equal to 52.4 approximately. So this is the calculation of packing efficiency of a simple cubic unit cell. So tomorrow I will come out with another continuation topic.